When you have a dream, you have got to grab it and never let go. Hi everyone, I am Nidhi Goyal, founder of SetuGram. At SetuGram, we believe that motivation is the key to living a fulfilled life and achieving success. That's why we created our Monday Motivation series to provide our followers with stories of determination and resilience from people from all walks of life. Through this series, we hope to inspire our followers to push through hardships and strive to reach their goals. Our 13th guest of the series is Gauri. Gauri is the founder of Earthy Route. Hi Gauri, thank you so much for joining. We've been facing some technical issues and we did go live twice and to just I'll be able to see you soon. Yes.
Yes. Hi, Nidhi.
Hi.
I hope I hope now this is our final live.
It will. No worries. No, why,
Yeah.
why do you say it like that? In
I
case the
mean,
technology does not support, this is the final try for sure, but just for today. We've
yeah,
done it.
yeah. No, no. I think I am wearing earphones. I can also hear you better. I think
Yeah.
hopefully the problem should be solved
Hope
now.
so.
Yeah.
Hope so.
Yeah.
Not a problem. Hi, Harshita. Thank you so much for
Uh,
joining. Hi, Varsha. Swapn, thank you so much for joining. So, yeah, I was asking you, Gauri, from CA to digital marketing to writing a blog and now a fashion brand. Please tell
right.
us how all this happened, and because it surely will give a lot of hope to people who are not from a fashion background and wanting to do something like that.
Right, right. So, I mean, that's lovely to know. My introduction is now spoken as from CA to digital marketing to an entrepreneur. It's a journey. Even I never saw it coming. So, very happy to share more on that. Firstly, I'm a chartered accountant by education. I studied to be a chartered accountant and I joined financial consulting soon after I passed out. I worked in financial consulting for a good 4.5 to 5 years, but something about my day job was not satisfying for me because I was always more inclined to do something on the creative aspect of things. And I always believed, and that's something that I still believe, that if your work doesn't really satisfy you or doesn't really motivate you, you should find something else for yourself.
Yeah.
So maybe a little late, but I still, in 2019, I decided to step down and start pursuing a different career, for which
Yeah.
I enrolled in a digital marketing course because I thought
Hmm.
if I venture into marketing, that will be something more creative than what I was doing at that time. Now, when I started doing this digital marketing course, it was really interesting. I started enjoying it a lot, but I continued to have my day job.
Yeah.
It's not that I quit it immediately.
Yeah.
So one of the assignment of the course was to make your own website, and
Okay.
I mean, for me at that time to make my own website sounded like an unsurmountable task, honestly.
Yeah.
But the idea was to choose your own topic, and we
Hmm.
just had to make a website of our own choice. So at that time, I decided to write about fashion because I personally was interested in comfortable fashion, and I wanted to talk more about styling is more inherent, and being fashionable is more about who you are rather than the
Yeah.
clothes you wear. So as long as you're comfortable in what you're wearing, it will show confidence, it will show
Yeah.
personality. So I wanted to
Yeah.
start writing something on these lines, and my husband, who also is my co-founder right now, he wanted to start writing something about the environment and start spreading awareness about the evil effects of our consumption on the environment.
Yeah.
So both our interests, sort of, we decided to marry them together, which is when we stumbled upon this huge issue of fast fashion.
Yeah.
Honestly, until 20 beginning of 2020, neither of us had even heard what fast fashion is, and I have in fact consumed a lot of fast fashion until then. And when we read about it, we decided that
Yeah.
now that we are already aware about it, we should start blogging about it through our website, and we
Correct.
decided to call it Earthy Route. So
Okay.
that's how our website was honestly born. And it was a part of an assignment which we made our interest and our passion. And when we started delving more into the world of slow fashion and sustainable fashion, we actually realized that there are alternatives that we can actually give to people.
Yeah.
They can which would be a better consumption alternative than the existing fast fashion alternatives. And that's when I decided to step down from my day job and start building our own, which offers sustainable clothing alternatives.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. That's very, very interesting. All right, so
Right.
I'll come back to a few questions that are coming to my mind, but later, because I know that you will be running short of time. So, few ones that are very important for this particular life. So there are a lot of sustainable fabrics, right, to choose from.
Right.
Now, what did Adi Raut choose and why? Because now we are
Right.
talking about that you've come over from that phase from just being a blog to becoming a brand. So to
Right.
start the brand, what were your choice as a brand of these sustainable options?
Sure. So, in we realized, and it is true that adopting sustainable fashion can be done in multiple ways, and the best way to do that is not over consume. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's not about choosing sustainable clothes. It's mainly about choosing to consume less. So we
Yeah.
wanted to solve that problem and offer something which is a better consumption.
Right.
Having said that, while doing so, we did not want to pinch people's pockets when they are
Right.
purchasing something.
Yeah.
So we put ourselves in the shoes of the consumer, and we thought to ourselves that, I mean, if I have to give a shot to a new brand, and if I want to try consuming a fabric which is not cotton, say, which is more comfortable for me, will
Yeah.
I be okay to pay a premium? And if yes, how much premium? So we wanted to start with a fabric which is a sustainable alternative to cotton and which is also pretty much affordable for people's pockets, so that that switch is easier.
Yeah.
So when you say alternatives to cotton and polyester, when I say cotton, I'm not talking about handloom or hand spun cotton. I'm talking
Yeah.
about the mill made mass manufactured
Yeah.
cotton. So the alternatives are linen, there is hemp, there is
Yeah.
tencel, which
Yeah.
we work with right now, and there
Right.
are some other more fabrics which are slightly on even an expensive side. So
Right.
between these three, we narrowed down upon tencel linen as our primary signature fabric,
Okay.
which gave us the price points that we were looking to launch at, plus the sustainability quotient. So that's when we decided to launch with tencel linen. Having said that, uh, we are working on more sustainable fabrics, but
Okay.
we'll always try and work around these constraints to help give people an easier way to switch to
I
sustainable
agree.
fashion.
I agree.
Right.
I agree
Yeah.
because that is one thing that pinches everybody. You said it right that because fast fashion is consumed no matter how much we talk about it, how much we know, it is consumed to a certain point because there is a reason why, because it is affordable.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right.
So, if we have to preach sustainability, that's one point, all the brands and together. As consumers, we can do mindful consumptions, but for brands, they can only try to make it
Right.
a little,
Right.
little sustainable at least for the pocket. Yeah. So,
Although
a
it
lot
does
of things.
demand you to, sorry to cut you here, I mean
Yeah.
to say that it does demand you to be at a slight premium than fast fashion, because
Yeah.
the raw materials that we use are much costlier.
Of course.
So I mean the premium is definitely warranted, but we
Yeah.
have to kind of strike that balance.
I agree. I completely agree. So, Gauri, a lot of research must have gone down, right, in narrowing down these options. Now, how
Right.
did you begin? How did you begin your research and what helped you to come to a conclusion? Because if someone can take notes of
Right.
this conversation now or later, your process can actually become a roadmap for their journey.
Right. So, honestly, we first researched on a plain Google secondary research material that is available, and even some books that we read. And we first narrowed down upon our fabrics. That's what we did first. And the second thing that we honestly did was just plain Google search about fabric manufacturers who are making that fabric. It
Yeah,
was as simple as that. And it just takes you to make cold calls, honestly, to start
yeah,
exploring. We
I
always
agree.
feel that nobody will, entertain me, or nobody will, why would they entertain a minimum quantity like mine? And we also faced yeah, there were people who did not entertain us, and they understood from my inquiry at that time that I don't understand a thing about fabrics. But there was a person, and there are people right now who entertained me.
Yeah.
And they took my query. We went and met our fabric manufacturer, and it just fell into place. It took us a lot of time to understand quality, what is the exact fabric we are looking at. We even got it tested, because it was not that the person is telling us that it is tencel and we had to believe it.
Yeah.
Now we have a proper authentic certification from the global tencel manufacturers, but in the beginning we had to get it local in a lab. So we did all of our due diligence. But yeah, research is one. Cold emails, cold calls, definitely. I mean, those are the ones that have benefited us the most. And I think there is no harm in asking. At the
I
most,
agree.
you will get rejected. So,
I
but if
agree
you want to find a
completely.
path, yeah,
Age-old techniques, but that's what works. I completely
right,
agree, and that is something that I swear by as well. Because until unless you ask, you will never get an answer. It's the same for asking questions, or reaching out to people for anything and everything that you need. It's something that just don't blindly, but then give them a reason to answer you back. If you know how to ask a question, you
right,
definitely will get an answer. That's what I believe in. So, sorry, moving on, why
right.
menswear? Usually people avoid starting with menswear, and that's what you chose. So, why did you choose that?
So, two things here. First is, when we piloted in October 21, we launched for both men and women.
Yeah,
We did not intend to only do men, but
right.
fortunately or unfortunately, menswear picked up better for us, honestly.
Okay. Yeah.
We got a better demand for menswear. So that's why we are currently doing only men. We
Okay.
have a limited collection for women, but that's something we intend to stabilize first. But
Right.
having said, also soon are working very actively on launching a new collection for women's. So it's
Okay.
not like a men's only brand. Right now,
Hmm.
since it is at a nascent stage, we have more alternatives for men, but we
Yeah.
are working towards launching women's wear also.
That's good to know. That's something that I can look forward to as well. So, thank you
Right,
so much for letting us know that. So, how did you start the process, Gauri, of starting a fashion brand and bringing it where it is today?
right.
Because, you know, did not having a fashion background become a hindrance anywhere?
Um, in my mind, maybe in the beginning,
Yeah.
it did feel that I don't understand anything to do with design. I don't understand anything to do with fabrics.
Yeah.
But the more you read, the more you speak to people, you realize that you can at least bring it to a certain level.
I
And
agree.
then once it reaches a certain level, then now we work with designers. So it's maybe I was lucky to, the circumstances helped me to make it reach to a certain level. But being only having fashion background is also not enough.
I
If
agree.
you have a fashion background, it's definitely an advantage,
Yeah.
but you need to have a inclination to build a business also, to
True.
build a sustainable business, to
Yeah.
know how to use tech to your advantage, how to start building a website,
Yeah.
how to make the user interface and the shopping easier for people, how
Hmm.
to sort of have certain principles laid down in your mind. So, for example, along with sustainable fabrics, we swear by on our timeless and classic designs. So,
Yeah.
we want to help people consume clothes which are timeless in nature, so that they delay the process of
Giving
throwing
away
it
process.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we also want them to be so versatile that instead of five things, you are ending up buying two, which is what we started with.
Yeah.
The thought process, we wanted to stick by it. So, I mean, if you have all of these things and a fashion background, then I think it is a perfect combination.
And it's a
But
win-win.
yeah, but I mean, definitely, there are so many big companies or D2C startups right now who have been founded by a non-fashion background founder,
Absolutely.
and yeah, I mean, that gives us a lot of hope. Honestly, when I look at that, I feel okay. It's fine. I mean,
Yeah.
but But now, after close to 1 year, 3 months, where when I see speaking to pattern masters and production masters and cutting masters, I feel that okay, I didn't know anything about this, but now I'm able
Yeah.
to converse with them. So
Right.
experience teaches you, and there is
Yeah.
a lot more to learn. So I'm enjoying this journey thoroughly.
Super awesome. So that gives
Yeah,
a hope to people who are into, the fashion design industry or not. If you really want to do it, you will be able to do it no matter what. Just keep doing it consistently and, ask around, Google it, ask people who are already
right,
doing it, and you will get a lot of help to, pass through or sail through the issues that you might be facing at that
right,
particular time. So super awesome, Gauri.
yeah,
I'm feeling very happy to be, actually what you said just now that I have been interviewing a lot of founders of late who are not from the fashion background and were into CSR activities or something totally into corporate life, and they gave up completely and jumped into this sector, which definitely gives hope to people who are already into the industry. So when you know the nitty-gritties of the industry, you've studied it, uh, you are at a better end. So you know it and you want to do it. So then why not? Just give it a shot. So on that
yeah.
note, my next question is, Gauri, what are the basics of starting a business? So somebody, if he wants to do that, what are the basics and how can one start small?
Okay. So, in terms of basics, I feel one is your purpose has to be very clear.
Yeah.
Uh, so, in the, I mean, sometimes I would even like to say that your product may not be very clear as to what exactly you would like to scale with, but your purpose has to be clear. So, anything
Yeah.
and everything you do should be coming down to that purpose because. Just it's I mean you cannot start a business just because you want to make money. Then you will not be able to do the ground level things is what I
Yeah.
feel. I'm too young to be talking about higher level experiences, but for us the purpose of our venture has really helped us to be strong and keep at it. Then, in terms of basics, you have to also keep a very open mind.
Right.
I feel like tech is something. I mean, I belong to a non-tech background. My husband belongs to a completely non-tech background. But we were able to build our own website, and we have been doing it until now. Because there are a lot of easy tools available now. Say websites like Shopify. There is a lot
Yeah.
of data on YouTube. There is a lot of content from where you can learn.
Yeah.
So, and talk to people. I think that is what has helped us a lot. So these three things, when you have,
Yeah.
you have to keep learning, keep speaking to people, take few things, let go few things. So that really, I would say, those are the basics. And how to start small is by maybe don't start only on the weekends.
Yeah.
Start moonlighting in the beginning so that all your eggs are not in one basket. You are not like all in so that you don't feel the pressure. Then once your weekends are just absolutely difficult to manage because you are doing so well, then you can quit your job
Yeah.
and invest only invest very limited in the beginning. I mean, be very
Yeah.
cautious.
Yeah.
We did that. Like when we piloted, it was a very small project, and it was in fact started with the thought that okay, nahi bhi chala to bhi we are okay.
Right.
So
Yeah.
because we don't have funding or we don't have
Correct.
family backgrounds who have made capital investment in this
Right.
industry. So
Yeah.
we could not go all in the beginning. So that's
Hmm.
how we started. Like Varun did not quit his job first. I
Yeah.
quit first. He quit after 7 to 8 months of us starting this venture. He used to
Right.
work on the weekends. He used to work after office. And
Yeah.
then once we were little comfortable to take it forward, we started taking the next step.
That's super wonderful to know.
Yeah.
And I agree that starting small is the way to go. And how you do it is something that every person, the journey will be different. They'll have to figure out on their own what works best for you. But yeah, if you're doing it's something, you're already into something and you're planning to change your career or the career paths, then don't go all in until unless you're sure about it or you have
Yeah.
that kind of savings to sustain yourself and the business that you're planning to start. So
Yeah.
starting small, the pointers that you gave, I'm sure can help a lot of people. So, Gauri, what were the challenges that you faced and how did you overcome them?
Challenge. Every day there is a new challenge, and sometimes so production challenges definitely in a clothing industry I can speak for. There
Yeah,
are a lot of production challenges, and say even if your fabric supply is sorted, there are a whole round of things that happen to make convert fabric to a garment, and to a
right,
garment which is as per your standards.
right.
So we as a sustainable venture, we see to it that our packaging, our trends, and all other aspects of our business are also sustainable and eco-friendly to a lot of extent possible. So to get all that supply chain sorted is a big challenge, and there is a lot of human intervention in this industry.
Hmm.
So there is a huge chance of mistakes,
Yeah,
and so there are simple things like the way, so our garments are pre-washed, for example,
yeah,
and the if the wash doesn't come out right, my feel of the fabric and the finished garment is not going to be right, and
yeah,
that is what is going to just make the entire inventory maybe not up to the mark.
correct.
So that those are definitely big challenges. Then marketing is a challenge. We are working on marketing on a daily basis. Yeah, I mean there is performance marketing that you have to crack that game. We
Yeah,
I can't say that we have cracked it until now, but we started investing in performance marketing after 9 months of
okay.
starting our business. We in our first 6 to 7 months, we only sold through exhibitions and
Okay,
through organic word to mouth and friends and
okay.
family and all of that, because we wanted to be very sure of our inventory before starting with performance marketing efforts. So
Yeah,
marketing is a challenge, inventory management is a challenge, production is a challenge,
yeah.
finding the right people in your team is a challenge. So it's a day. I mean, there are, how do you overcome these challenges? The answer to that question, I feel, is just keep at it. I mean, don't give up. That's because if you keep at it and if you are focused on finding the solution, you will get it. So,
I agree.
I mean,
Yeah.
there would be certain things which will be irreversible, so, but you will have to live with it, I think, and then still keep on walking ahead.
Yeah, obviously that's a
Yeah,
given that if you are a founder and if you are into business, it's your baby, then you have to keep going no matter what. So
right.
yeah, and you'll have
Yeah.
to find solutions. So that's
I
a given. Yeah.
I hope I'm able to say this after 5 years also.
No, you are doing a good job, definitely, because if you could think of, quitting and starting something, your husband could quit. You definitely are on the right path, and I'm sure that the route is doing very well, and we'll see it soon reaching the heights that it soars for. So
Thank you
I
so much.
always ask Gauri, the founders, if scaling a business is easy. Like I know we are already talking about that. You have to keep going no matter what the situation is. But what things one needs to keep in mind for this particular thing about scaling?
Right. So I have not been able to build a scaled business yet. So maybe not the right person to comment. But I can say one thing, and that's what I've learned from people in the community, in the startup community, is that they were very focused.
Yeah,
They were not, if like I said, no, your purpose should be clear, and you should be doing one thing and doing it at scale. That is
yeah,
something we are trying to do. We
yeah,
have not reached the scale yet, so I won't be able to comment on that. But being focused, and I mean, in the beginning, we had lost focus because we are trying to do multiple things, and that
yeah.
really does not help anybody. So
Hmm.
now our focus is very clear. We know what we want. We know
Yeah.
how we'll go about things. So I think that will help a lot in scaling.
Hmm. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So I'm going to leave our viewers and you towards the end of the conversation with a thought in mind, and I will leave it to that. My next question to you is how did you create brand awareness and how much time did
Yeah.
it take to sell your first collection? How did you go about it? Like you already said that it was all organic and it was through word to
Yeah.
mouth and everything.
Yeah.
But how did you go about it? What else did you do?
So, even before we launched our first product on through our website, we had an Instagram page, like I mentioned, because we used to write very actively about not about against fast fashion. We
Yeah.
used to. It was a personal blog about me and Varun, my husband,
Yeah.
and we used to share our journey about living a low waste lifestyle, about consuming mindfully, about evil effects of fast fashion. And we build a lot of content around it because that time there
Okay.
was no intention about launching a brand or a clothing alternative. We used to do it just for the sake of spreading awareness. So
Yeah.
that really helped us when we launched
Yeah.
that content creation. And then brand awareness is a very ongoing journey. So we right now the paid marketing efforts also drive the brand awareness for us.
Yeah.
The offline pop-ups that we don't do a lot of them, but whenever we do, we ourselves try and be present and speak to each and every consumer who shops from us or who does not shop from us, and we start speaking about our brand to them.
Yeah.
So that is very important. Joining your related business related forums to
Yeah.
talk about yourself, to join WhatsApp groups about your areas of interest and
Right.
your business areas, that helps a lot in brand awareness.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, uh, all of these things I think help you in building awareness. And to answer your question about when our first collection got sold out, so women's wear did not sell out very fast. I'll be very honest with it,
Yeah.
and we have noted down our learnings from it. But men's wear pretty much got sold out in the first 5 months, less than first 5 months. So that gave us a lot of confidence to restock and improve our menswear collection and relaunch it in August 22.
That's very nice to hear. So before I let you go, Gauri, your advice to the young professionals.
Um, I mean, I would like to say two things that if your job is not making you happy, at least begin the journey of finding out what makes you happy. Because there is no point saying that I'm not happy. You have to at least try to find, you have to start moving in some direction in order to find that. That is
Yeah.
one, because now I work much more than I have worked ever in my life, but I don't get bored, or I don't find myself complaining a lot.
Yeah.
So finding what you really truly enjoy is I think very important. And the second thing that I would like to say the young generation like me is that try to do some purpose driven work also, because that if your job is not giving you that, try and do contribute your bit to maybe the environment, if I may say so,
Yeah.
because our environment needs us to take care of it.
Yeah.
And or if not the environment, take up anything which is helping and benefiting the society. It will give a lot
Yeah.
of fulfilling, like it will make your day and your journey a lot more fulfilling.
I completely agree. I completely, truly agree on that. That when you help even a single person, a single soul, it gives you immense pleasure and satisfaction. It is beyond the amount of money that you can earn. So
Right.
that's if you can make it a part of your lifestyle or your life, your work, it definitely is going to, make give you a very fulfilled life. So the
Right.
thought that I want to leave our viewers with is we were talking about doing something rather than focusing multiple things, doing something with all focus. There are two types
Yeah.
of people. I want our viewers and you to leave a comment later. Which one do you, which category do you belong to? Category A, who thinks that I have to be completely focused and do one thing. I do not need a plan B in my life. Only then I'll be able to give my 100%. Or you belong to the category B, who thinks that try doing multiple things, kuch na kuch to work out karega hi, and you will become successful somewhere at least. So don't
Right.
focus, don't get stuck on one thing, but try multiple things and you will succeed somewhere. So this is the thought that I want everyone to ponder upon and leave us a comment which category do they belong to and maybe why.
Sure.
Thank you
Sure.
so much, Gauri, and a very
Yes.
happy journey to you. Thank you
Thank
so much
you.
for taking out the
Thank
time.
No problem. It was my pleasure, and thanks
Well,
so much for having me here.
Pleasure.
It truly means a lot to me.
Pleasure is
Thank you.
mine. Okay. Bye,
Yes.
Gauri.
Bye. Thank you so much.